The first ever Oscar ceremony took place on May 16, 1929. The world has watched the rise to stardom of so much acting talent for 95 years, 95 Oscar ceremonies. On the 9th award ceremony in 1937, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences introduced the Best Supporting Actress category, where a woman who played a smaller or secondary role in a film had a chance to win a prestigious award and be recognized for her talent in the film industry. So far, of 85 annual ceremonies where the Best Supporting Actress award was included, only 12 women of color received the Best Supporting Actress Oscar. Out of the 12, 8 were Black women, 2 Asian, 1 Afro-Latina, and 1 Hispanic. I will include Rita Moreno in this list, despite mixed reviews on Hispanics being considered as part of people of color. Now, with the upcoming 2024 Oscars, the Best Supporting Actress category is very diverse. 3 out of the 5 nominees are women of color, so there is a high chance of success for Divine Joy Randolph, America Ferrera, or Danielle Brooks to win. Please stay tuned for a fresh video on my take and review on this year's Best Supporting and also Best Actress nominees for the upcoming Oscars. Just by the history of exclusion, it is obvious just how prejudiced and blatantly racist Hollywood has been to hire, include, and recognize talented people of color in the film industry, let alone women of color who have faced the extra layer of sexism, harassment, and misogyny. I have covered all Best Actress Oscar winners one by one and have given each woman a separate video on her life and success story. So please make sure to watch those, as they also include, so far, the only 2 women of color to have won the Best Leading Actress Oscar, Halle Berry and Michelle Yeoh. In this series, we will delve into all 12 stories of 12 incredibly talented women who have received the Best Supporting Actress Oscar. It is so important to spotlight them. Often overshadowed by the win of the Best Leading Actress, I find the Best Supporting Actress winners play rather intriguing characters who somewhat become more memorable than the lead and pivotal to the story of the movie. Think Octavia Spencer in The Help. She stole the scenes, or Lupita Nyong'o in 12 Years a Slave. Such a revelation. So without further ado, Hattie McDaniel holds the honor of being the first woman of color and first Black woman to receive the Best Supporting Actress Oscar. Her legacy is celebrated, for she was multi-talented and outspoken. Hattie was born on June 10, 1893 in Wichita, Kansas, to formerly enslaved parents. Her mother was a gospel singer and her father a Civil War veteran. The youngest of 5, Hattie followed in her older brothers and sisters' footsteps and showed interest in music and performance. The family relocated and Hattie grew up in Denver, Colorado. With her singing and songwriting skills, Hattie worked her way up in Black ensemble and minstrel shows, along with her siblings. By the late 1920s, McDaniel radio recorded many songs for Paramount and OK Records. In 1931, Hattie, at the age of 39, moved to Los Angeles to join her siblings who were already working in the entertainment industry. Although it was hard to make ends meet, which required Hattie to take on maid or cook jobs, she still persevered in making small and uncredited roles in movies, often playing maids and singing in the chorus line. In 1934, she joined the Screen Actors Guild, which brought her bigger roles and credited work. 1934 was Hattie's big Hollywood break. Not only did she land a leading part, but also showed off her singing opposite actor Will Rogers. Hattie became widely known for playing sassy maids in film, which she happily accepted. Her repertoire consisted of further roles in big films like Alice Adams, Vivacious Lady, and Saratoga, to name a few. Hattie was loved by many and became friends with major Hollywood stars like Joan Crawford, Bette Davis, and Olivia de Havilland, with whom she co-starred in her famed work ever, Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind came out in 1939 and became the highest grossing film at that time. If adjusted for inflation, it remains so to this day. This legendary film, directed by Victor Fleming and produced by David O. Selznick, starring the unparalleled Vivien Leigh and Clark Gable as the infamous leads, is talked about and analyzed to this day. Set in the American South during the Civil War, Hattie McDaniel plays a supportive, wise and caring house servant and personal confidant, Mammy, to the spoiled and narcissistic Scarlett O'Hara, played by Vivien Leigh. McDaniel's rendition of Mammy was an ode to all of the female house servants who worked in white Southern households. McDaniel was able to bring truth to the role, since her own grandmother worked on a plantation as one. The movie back then was condemned for celebrating slavery and is to this day regarded as a film capitalizing off of racial stereotypes. Nonetheless, the impact of Hattie McDaniel as Mammy was huge on audiences, and for this major role she was awarded the Best Supporting Actress Oscar in 1940 at the 12th Academy Awards. Hattie was up against co-star and soon-to-be fellow Oscar winner Olivia de Havilland, and you can watch my video on her too, for her role as Melanie Hamilton in Gone with the Wind. Also Geraldine Fitzgerald, Edna May Oliver and Maria Uspienska were nominated that year too. Hattie McDaniel, along with all of the other black cast members, were not allowed to appear at the premieres of Gone with the Wind, such as the one in Atlanta, due to the Jim Crow laws. Gone with the Wind ultimately won 8 competitive Oscar awards. Vivien Leigh was awarded her Best Actress Oscar respectively, and I suggest you watch my video on her too. Hattie and her escort had to sit at a segregated table in the corner at the Oscar Awards ceremony, along with her white agent. Furthermore, she was denied access to the Oscars after party due to strict segregation. Nonetheless, on the night, she gave a heartfelt speech of gratitude and pride when accepting her award. She wore a 1940s-style demure dress accessorized with a luscious strip of white gardenias falling over her shoulder and some in her hair. Hattie donated her Oscar to Howard University. It later went missing, but recently replaced. Hattie McDaniel's monumental achievement brought more visibility for Black people on screen with her witty and characteristic performance. I think one of the reasons Hattie McDaniel was able to pave the way for Black women in cinema was that despite the unbelievably overt racism and bigotry she faced, she took things in stride. It was her inner strength and humanity that helped her become a staple on the big screen and to do what she loved ultimately. It would take 51 years since her Oscar win for another Black woman to win an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress, and that was Whoopi Goldberg. McDaniel famously said, "Why should I complain about making $700 a week playing a maid? If I didn't, I'd be making $7 a week being one." Hattie McDaniel continued playing maids in films like This Is Our Life, The Male Animal, and Mickey in 1948, which was her last film appearance. Towards her final years, Hattie appeared on TV and radio shows and even became the first Black actor to star in her own radio comedy show called Beulah. It was a hit and made Hattie a lot of money, as much as $2,000 a week. She was later replaced by Louise Beavers when she got ill and suddenly passed away from breast cancer on October 26, 1952, at the age of 59. Not only did McDaniel have a fruitful entertainment career, but she was also known for her community service. During World War II, she served as the chairman of the Negro Division of the Hollywood Victory Committee. providing entertainment for Black soldiers stationed at military bases. McDaniel made regular appearances at parties to raise funds for the war, as well as for Red Cross. Hattie McDaniel goes down in history as a thoughtful, determined, and multi-talented woman who lived in a time of racial segregation and threat. Nonetheless, she came out to be a trailblazer who had appeared in 300 movies, 83 of which she was credited for, and whose 2 stars for film and radio are marked on the Hollywood Walk of Fame to this day.
I sincerely hope I shall always be a credit to my race and to the motion picture industry. My heart is too full to tell you just how I feel. And may I say thank you and God bless you.